Hello YouTubers, and welcome back to Go Figure Customs YouTube channel. Hopefully you got to follow some live streaming on my Facebook page in the last couple of days, as my co-host for General Geekery and best friend JD Onesi was here for a few days. He ended up staying an extra day, kind of a mental health day, and it's a good thing that he did, because we ended up going to Target and scoring some of the new G.I. Joe classified figures. I'm going to do a review of those in my next video, so stay tuned for that. But it's a shame that he had to leave today, because my other good friend, one of my other good friends, Sean Grogan, sent me a couple of the new G.I. Joe retro figures. So there's 3 of those currently out. They're available theoretically at Walmart, because there's been a lot of problems with distribution and scalpers, and I probably wouldn't normally do a review on these, but I think it's such a heated and debated topic that it was my time to fan the flames. So unfortunately I am having a problem with my allergies, so hopefully this won't be a shitty video. We've got a cold snap coming in, and normally that will like kill everything, and everybody's allergies are like 100% better, but for some reason when we get a cold snap, my allergies just go crazy, which is like counterintuitive. So I don't know, hopefully you won't see me mucusing all over the place for this. I only ended up, even though Sean had all 3 of the figures that are currently available, which is Baroness, Storm Shadow, and Snake Eyes, I only ended up getting 2 of them, so I'm only going to review 2 of them on this video. My buddy Sean does have his own YouTube page. He may have already done reviews on these. You'll have to take a look at that. SG Caper is his screen name. Do a Google search, or do a search on YouTube, and you probably find his channel. So first up, I have the Baroness here. The cards. So there's always 3 things I review when I do a new figure review, right? I do the packaging, the playability, and the customizability. So the packaging, the cards are fairly flimsy. I gotta say, my custom cards, while I'm still working on perfecting the double-sided card, I like my custom cards better. These are very flimsy. I think these are going to be cards that are going to be hard to keep in mint condition. So collectability should be a 4th thing that I add to my reviews. So collectability on these, I'm going to say these, even though these are, see, that's the thing about the retro figures. If you've been collecting G.I. Joe for any, even a short length of time, chances are you probably already have these figures, because this is not a new figure. The big kind of split debate between most people is, are these really retro figures? I mean, this is the Baroness figure that came out, I want to say, in the 30th anniversary line, if not before that. So it's not, which was just a couple of years ago. So is it really retro? And then the debate is, well, they could have been, not necessarily should have been, but could have been 25th anniversary figures, 25th anniversary bucks, which would be a little bit more retro. But as JD and I will talk about in an upcoming podcast, as we continue to review the G.I. Joe Real American Hero line, the 25th anniversary figures, the sculpting and the articulation, it did not hold up well to it did not age well, unfortunately. And honestly, they're kind of crappy figures. There's a few good ones in there, don't get me wrong. There's gems in any of the G.I. Joe lines, to be sure, but to me, a retro line of 25th anniversary style figures, I would not have even considered buying those. Number one, I have. That's almost a complete run of the 25th anniversary figures, carded, single carded figures on the wall behind me, including most of the variants. I don't have the yellow stalker, but I do have like both shipwrecks. There's a couple different Zartans. I have both of the Wraiths. I have the Black Wolf, Snake Eyes. So and I don't customize 25th anniversary figures anymore. 30th and newer, I still use some of those parts for customs. The Retaliation line, the Pursuit of Cobra, and actually Pursuit of Cobra on, I suppose, would be more accurate to say what figures I customize. So the other debated topic is they should have or could have been O-ring figures, which truly would have been retro. Then the argument, it devolves into, well, they couldn't be O-ring figures because it would have, Hasbro, the molds do not exist anymore to make those particular O-ring figures. Hasbro would have had to put a lot of money into decent molds to make new O-ring figures, because then the argument becomes, well, people like Black Major and Red Laser are making O-ring figures. Why can't Hasbro? Yes, they are making O-ring figures, but they are using aluminum molds, and the aluminum molds do not stand up to many uses. So that's why the Red Laser and Black Major figures are limited batches, is because the aluminum molds don't hold up very well. So Hasbro would have had to sink a lot of money into new molds to make O-ring figures. And what's been very clear over the last few years is Hasbro is not too interested in sinking a lot of money into the G.I. Joe line. So I don't think that was a realistic possibility either. Had they been O-ring figures, I probably would have gotten them just for the retro aspect. The card, they've changed quite a bit. It no longer has the white border, and they've removed the Real American Hero from the title of the line, which really becomes evident when you look at the back, because the file card is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different languages. That's Spanish, German, and I don't recognize the other two. Maybe Portuguese. I don't know. Yeah, I don't. My foreign languages are not stellar. So there is just a very short, brief description on the file card of who this is. The card art looks like it's I can't remember the last name of the artist that did the original art, but his first name was Hector, and he died earlier this year, unfortunately. Which is really sad because he was an integral part of my childhood. But and Larry Hama wrote the my allergies wrote the file cards for the original vintage figures, and these are stripped down version of the file cards, because it says role Cobra Intelligence Officer, primary specialty is intelligence, secondary specialty is fixed wing pilot, birthplace is classified. And the only other information they gave about this particular figure or particular character was graduated from student radicalism into international sabotage and the ranks of Cobra, and that's it. And I'm going to pause it for a second to go blow my nose. All right, sorry about that. Even as a medic, I am self-treating. I've taken 2 different kinds of antihistamines, and my allergies are still bothering me. So the file cards are really stripped down. These are not necessarily geared towards Americans anymore. I gotta kind of give them kudos for kind of having a wider world view, because there are a lot of people in other countries that do still like G.I. Joe and really want these figures, or have the potential to want to buy them. As you can see, they've changed it does say Baroness right up there. They've changed the whole layout of the card. It doesn't really have a retro feel to me. I mean, yes, it has the explosion that was 82 to 85. They went to the digital explosion in 86, which is kind of nice. So Baroness would have been on that particular explosion. It does have the Cobra logo. It doesn't have the printing on the side that said what equipment is with them. The other stuff on the back is all the different warnings in the different languages, in all of the indicia for the company, for Hasbro. I am not even going to try and read that. And most of it isn't even in English, so interesting. So the packaging, I'm going to kind of give that a thumbs down. They're shooting for retro, and they missed it completely, I think, in my opinion. I mean, it's close, but it's like hand shoes and horse grenades. Hand shoes and horse grenades. Dude, I am out of it. Fucking antihistamines. All right, so it's hand grenades and horseshoes. Close, but not quite. So yeah, I don't like the packaging. It's sort of retro, and I'm basing that on all of the other retro stuff that's out at the moment. The He-Man stuff's pretty close to the original vintage cards. The Ghostbusters retro stuff is like dead on as far as I know. And the other retro thing that I know is out right now is the Spider-Man stuff. And those are from the Toy Biz line. Those are like dead on to the vintage. So, and this really doesn't stand up to it. The main reason I got these, to be quite honest, is one of the other reasons that one of the other things that I review during a figure review, and that's customizability. So let's open this carefully, because the blister on this is honestly the real reason I wanted these. I have a couple of customs that have, especially my Snow Job custom. Is that damaging? Yeah, okay. Especially my Snow Job custom. I don't know how to clean this off. That isn't. Yeah, it's just that has gear that won't fit in any other blister. So these blisters are a godsend, and I have to blow my nose again. Sorry, hang on. Whoops. Hang on a second. So it's also an unboxing video here. Sorry, I'm back blowing my nose. So we take out the blister. This is all old sculpt. There's nothing new about this figure at all. The suitcase is one that came out in the Rise of Cobra line, I think. I think this particular piece of equipment came out in the Rise of Cobra line because it's got the sculpting in there for the little, like, nanites, tubes of nanites. There is a briefcase that came with the Pursuit of Cobra General Hawk that has a machine gun that you can remove and has a flip-up display for a laptop. I think that's the piece they should have used instead of this pigboard piece of shit. But there you go. So there's like the grappling hook with the like elevator. I don't remember who this came with. I think it came with again one of the Rise of Cobra Snake Eyes, if I'm not mistaken, or Storm Shadow. I don't remember. Somebody will correct me on that, no doubt. However, the grappling hook, it's a little big, but I need a grappling hook to finish off my hit and run custom. So that's probably the one I'm going to use. So I'm actually happy to have that. What else we got here? We've got the like HKMP MP5. This came with the Cobra Shock Trooper. Oh my god, allergies. Sorry. I do like this gun. This is very nicely sculpted. I don't tend to use G.I. Joe guns in my customs because the sculpt is not as detailed as I would like, but this particular weapon I do use in my customs because it is sculpted very nice. This figure came out, this gun came out with the 25th anniversary line. It came with a shit ton of different guys. I don't remember any of them off the top of my head. This is kind of why I wish JG was still here, because he could tell you like what 5 guys came with this gun. I don't particularly care for the sculpt. I like the idea of the handle recessed like that, but figures do not tend to hold weapons like that very well. I believe that came with, whoops, that particular gun came with Destro at one point in time. I don't like the sculpt. I think it's crappy. And The other weapon she came with, I believe, is the... I don't remember right off the top of my head. I want to say it was the taser that came with Shock Trooper, but I'm not 100% on that. So, oh, sorry. So, that's the other gun she came with. Not impressed. Definitely not impressed with any of the accessories she came with. Figure stand, got her name on it. Is there anything interesting stamped on it? Yeah, the stamp on the bottom is 2007. So here's the figure. This, if you, like I said, if you've been collecting for any length of time, you already have this figure in your collection. And I myself do have this figure in my collection. I don't know that I have this figure in my collection, honestly, because I've customized her. That's an old head sculpt. It's not bad, but it's not fantastic. The one thing I do like about this particular sculpt is the high heel boots. Those are fantastic for female customs. So the articulation's fine. It feels real sturdy. This is definitely going to be a figure for that your kids can play with. So you know, I keep gearing these reviews towards adult collectors, but as a lot of people have pointed out, the future of G.I. Joes is going to be dependent on the kids buying stuff. So, you know, even if you have this figure, hopefully your kids want these and want to buy these and will help perpetuate the G.I. Joe line. So yeah, it's not a bad figure, honestly. So playability is off the charts on this. You're not going to break this. The joints aren't going to break. The paint apps are fine. The customizability, honestly, that's one of the reasons I got this figure. I needed the blister again for one of my own customs, and then I was going to do... Baroness had a figure. It was an O-ring figure. It came in a 6-pack Toys R Us exclusive. It was the Imperial Procession, I think is the name of the pack, where she's wearing crimson armor, crimson and silver. So that's what I'm going to use this figure for. It's going to be a straight repaint, but I'm going to do like a metallic red and silver accents with this. I'm going to give her a decent gun too, because the stuff she came with is crap. So collectability, I think it's actually fairly high if you're going to keep it on the card. Again, if you can get cards in decent condition, because these cards are, somebody pointed out, these cards are reminiscent of Fun School, of the Fun School cards. I think they're a little bit better quality than the Fun School cards. I've got a Fun School carded figure here. Let me get that. And let me blow my nose real quick too while I'm out. Sorry, I won't be able to pause it while I blow my nose, so enjoy that. Oh, and no, I don't have COVID. Don't worry. So here's the Fun School Night Viper carded. Yeah, the quality of the card from the retro line is a couple of steps up from the Fun School card. So I mean, it's almost as flimsy as the Fun School card. It is indeed a better quality. However, it is not as good a quality as we're traditionally used to on any other G.I. Joe line. So packaging crap. Playability off the charts. This is good for kids of pretty much any age, as long as you're not worried about choking hazard, obviously. Clear up through adult. Collectability, I'm going to go 50-50 on that, you know, because if you can keep it on the card and have a nice one, I think that's going to be something that's going to be hard to keep nice over the years. But the collectability kind of decreases, in my opinion, with the figure itself, because it's a figure, you know, you already have. I don't think I have one in my collection. I do have that particular, well, the head is different. I have the Baroness that came with the San Diego Comic-Con Transformer set. I think that was Jetfire and Hound, if I'm not mistaken, with Ravage, which is a fantastic figure, but the head's kind of shitty on it. But yeah, if you've collected for any length of time, you already have this figure. Customizability, again, off the charts, because that's what I'm going to use it for. So do I recommend these? You know, it's going to vary from person to person. If you're a completist, yeah, you're going to need it. If you want to introduce your kids to G.I. Joe, this is a good place to start. Absolutely. If you're a die-hard G.I. Joe collector, and I'm going to say it's going to be a flip of the coin, and it's just going to be based on opinion. If you were wanting O-ring figures, these aren't for you. If you were wanting 25th anniversary style figures, these aren't for you. But if you dig these newer sculpt figures like I do, yeah, you might not want to pass these up if you can find them, which, again, I do not understand Hasbro and their distribution system. I just don't get why they can't get figures out to people, because people do want these. I probably would have bought I probably would have bought 2 of each if I'd seen them in the store, but since I can't, I just got the 2 I needed for customs. And so the other one, there's some packaging here. Let's see what's on the packaging. I didn't see that at first. Oh my God, my allergies. It just says that it's a choking hazard in about 30 different languages. It's also a strangulation hazard. A long cord. Oh, yeah, the cord on the grappling hook. So, yeah, don't strangle yourself with a cord. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? But it's useless information. All right, I'm going to pause it again, blow my nose. Sorry, hang on. All right, back. So the next figure I have is the Retro Storm Shadow. Again, on the back, there's the file card. Very little information, obviously, because it's in 5 different languages. Role, Cobra Ninja. Primary specialty is Assassin. Secondary specialty is Intelligence, Birthplace, Classified. The only thing it says about the character is can scale sheer walls with bare hands and feet and move with blinding speed. Wow, that's underwhelming. I was also going to mention they do show the figures that are in the line on the back, like the old G.I. Joe figures. Currently, there's only 6 figures on this. Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and Baroness, which are currently out. And I'm guessing Wave 2 is going to be Scarlet, Roadblock, and Destro. I will be interested to see what bucks they decide to use on all of those figures. Actually, if they go with the 25th anniversary for Scarlet, I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole. If they do like the Renegades version of Scarlet, I might get a couple of those. Even though the proportion is kind of weird on those, it's still, in my opinion, it's not a bad figure. Roadblock, I would really like to see them use the Retaliation Roadblock, even with a different head instead of the one that they made for The Rock, because that is a fantastic figure. It's a bigger, bulkier buck. Say that 5 times fast while you're sleepy from the Benadryl. And I customize the shit out of that particular figure. If that is the buck they use for Roadblock, I will buy the shit out of those if I can find them, because I still haven't been able to find these, unfortunately. And Destro, man, they've done a bunch of different Destro bucks over the years. I have no idea which one they're going to use, and it's all going to be dependent on, for me, purchasing it on how decent it is for customs, because I have no desire to have it in my collection otherwise for any other reason. So let's open this. It does come with a lot of accessories, which to me, I do like the accessories. More accessories, the better for me, to a degree. So we have all right. So we have looks like 1 or 2 throwing. I guess I should look. I'm not actually sure what these are supposed to be. I think they're supposed to be like, oh, I can't even show it to you because it's so tiny. I think they're supposed to be like darts, sheath darts. I just picked up that piece from another, off my customizing area. I can't really even show these to you. I need some tweezers to show. So they come with 2 throwing stars. There's 2 of those in there. And I, for the life of me, can't remember the name of this particular weapon, but there's 2 of those. So you got a lot of accessories here to lose, that's for sure. You got the backpack that comes apart. I actually like this. I think this is the best version of the Storm Shadow backpack. It does hold the bow and arrow, which it does come with. It fits down there and inside, and then both short swords. It's very reminiscent of the original one, but I think it's actually, I think the bow and the arrow clip onto the outside. Actually, it's very reminiscent of the original one, but I think it's a bigger improvement on it. Oh, what do we have here? You almost missed something here. So as you might remember, the vintage Storm Shadow. Oh my god, my allergies. I'm sorry. The original Storm Shadow came with nunchucks. Okay. I don't know. I mean, that's what those are supposed to be, but I don't know. That's kind of using the string for the nunchucks is kind of nice because it's not going to break, it's not going to bend like the vintage one, but I don't know. I think it looks like crap, honestly. That's just my opinion, though. We have another sash. There we go. There's the sash, and that will fit on your Storm Shadow. I'm not going to take the time to put that on, so you can do that on your own. The swords that it comes with the regular katana and the washasigi sword, if I'm saying that right. These are sort of my favorite because I love the square guard on those, and the handles are really nice. But of all of the swords that they've made, the tips are just horrible. They look like butter knives. So these are sort of my favorite swords, and they're sort of not. I love the handle and the handguard, but the tips on these compared to other swords in the G.I. Joe line are just crap, honestly. We've got one of the fans. I do like those. I think that's a cool thing. But it only comes with one, where any other figure that has had that as an accessory comes with 2. Sorry. The vintage looking longbow and an arrow. It's okay. It's very reminiscent. It looks like the one that came with the Ultimate Storm. I think that one came with the Ultimate Storm Shadow in the Retaliation line, which is what this figure is. I think this really is kind of my favorite sculpt, ninja sculpt, and favorite. It's my favorite buck for ninjas, and especially Storm Shadow. That isn't my favorite head for Storm Shadow, but it's not the one I thought they used, and I didn't like the one I thought they used. But so it's not horrible. Overall, the customizability is fantastic. That's why I'm doing a couple Red Ninja customs, so that's what I'm gonna turn him into, as a Red Ninja. I really like this buck. This is a fantastic buck. The articulation is amazing on these. It has the articulated wrists, and the hands will hold the sai like they're supposed to, and those are taped in, and I'm really going to try and pull them out without losing them, but that might be difficult. There we go. Let me see if I can do this. It doesn't hold them well, but it does hold them like he's supposed to. So give me a second here, and let's see. So again, my review is exact same for Baroness. You already have this figure, you might not want it. Although this Storm Shadow is particularly difficult to get because it is a nice figure. So if you did miss it, this is your chance. Again, if you can find it though, which seems to be a problem, unfortunately. There's one hand. And I really like the hands on these. This improvement, I was really blown away when they did this the first time. All right, there we go. I got him. And he actually holds those sides, so it's in between his middle and ring fingers, which I think is really cool because that's, you know, it's one of the ways to hold those properly. So I really do like the figure. I think it's fantastic. Collectibility, again, it's going to be the same as the Baroness. These cards are probably going to be hard to keep nice, so if you can get a nice one and keep it in your collection, it probably will increase in value, especially since these seem to be hard to get for the moment. And who knows if that will change. I have heard nothing, not even rumors about if there's going to be a re-release of these, if they're going to restock these. I've seen, you know, some places haven't had these at all, or if they've had a couple and they've gone through all of them really quickly. And I've seen just the opposite, where they've some guy back east, I'm sorry, I don't remember where, posted a picture from his Walmart, and it was 5 or 6 figures down, 4 or 5 across, and it was probably 4 or 5, maybe even 6 deep. So, I mean, they had a shitload of them. It's like all of the ones for the state went to one Walmart or something. I think it was in Georgia, but I don't remember for sure. So yeah, it's not a bad figure. The accessories are great. You already own this figure if you've been collecting for a long time. But if you missed it, and that particular sculpt they've used for a lot of different figures, the dollar store, Dollar General figures use this buck, except with a different head. This is one they used in the Retaliation line, and it came out in the 50th anniversary line. And I do have that one here. I do have a couple of them. And the Ultimate. So I actually have a couple of them here. Again, pretty much shows you that you already own this figure. The only difference is the sash is white. And this is the head that I like better than the one that came with, because it's way more reminiscent of the vintage style figure. I'm just going to set these back here and put those back on my flag after I get done with the video. So, it's really just hit or miss with everything about this line. It's figures you probably already own if you're a hardened collector like myself. They're great for customs, however. The collectability, I think, is fairly high because right now these seem to be very difficult to get. The cards will be hard to keep in, I think will be difficult to keep in mint condition over the years, unless you're very careful. So that's going to increase the collectability and the value, I think. The playability is fantastic. Customizability is fantastic. But then again, you know, if you were hoping for O-ring figures, you didn't get what you wanted. So, you know, I mean, like I said, it's just going to vary on what you want. Overall, they're good figures. They're fun to play with, and easy to play with, and you're not going to damage them, you know. So there you go. That's my review on the G.I. Joe retro figures. Again, the other one that's available right now is Snake Eyes. I decided against getting that one because I just don't need it. I have a couple of that figure already. While it is a good buck to customize, I don't need it right now. But it's a fantastic figure to have. So flip a coin on these. Thanks for watching. I'm going to do a review on the Classified Series Baroness here in a few minutes, so that should be up on my YouTube channel shortly after you watch this. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, all those fun social media things, and thanks for watching.